Some deals in real estate can certainly have their oh shit moments, and they do. I'd say a lot of the time, they don't. I don't know what the percentage might be. 75, 80% of the time, deals actually go quite smooth. And I found over the years that, if I if I'm looking forward to a deal going sideways, it probably goes sideways. And when I think, no, this is going to go smooth, it goes smooth. And but I can think about this one time where I was working with these buyers. We were putting an offer in on a house. We were one of five offers. It was multiple offer, and it wasn't actually my error. It was an error on the part of the listing agent. And so, anyways, we had put in a firm offer. We were successful. We had the house secured, and it was to close in 6 weeks. And I got a call from the listing agent about 5 weeks out, so a week before closing, saying, "Are your clients going to assume the hot water tank?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Yeah, duh." Like it was, I knew this agent. So, I mean, we could talk very, very plainly to each other. And she's like, "Duh, yeah, the hot water tank. Your client's going to assume the monthly payment." And in the contract, I had actually put in that the hot water tank was owned, not leased or not rented. And I did that because it wasn't indicated in the listing that the hot water tank was a rental. And so what ended up happening in that case, or what could have ended up happening, was that my clients would have been entitled to have the sellers pay off that hot water tank prior to closing. Now, in this case, it was a bit of, like I say, it was a bit of one of those oh shit moments. My clients were like, "Well, whatever, we need a hot water tank. It's not a big deal. Every other house we've looked at's had it." It was well within their right to say, "No, we want the seller to pay out the hot water tank," but they're really good people, and they ended up just assuming the $25.86 a month plus tax, whatever it was. Now, interestingly enough, though, about 3 years later, I was the listing agent, and I had actually done that on one of my listings. I had forgotten to put the hot water tank as a rental item in the rental items. And so the hot water tank was shown as owned. And when it came to closing, I had to go with that to that buyer's agent hat in hand and say, you know, "I'm very sorry I missed this. How do we work this out?" And their client ended up assuming that hot water tank without any question at all. So, pardon me. So it's karma, in my opinion. A good turn done years earlier came back to me when I made the mistake. I mean, none of us are perfect, and it happens sometimes.